Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. EQ Nostalgia here with a small update on the remake of Resident Evil 2. There's no way I'm not going to butcher this guy's name, so I'm just going to put it up on the screen. He is the producer of Resident Evil 2 Remake. He's come out and said that the game is obviously progressing, but the most interesting thing that he said is that he wants to recapture the spirit of the original. Now that doesn't really seem like much until you understand the fact that this guy actually worked on the original remake on GameCube. It was actually the first game he ever worked on at Capcom, so that gives me faith. The reason why they chose him to do this is because they want to stick to the traditional style of the game. And let's face it, many of us are concerned that they're going to turn this into Resident Evil 6. We don't want to see that happen. What I mean by that is, obviously, they're going to turn it into an action shooter. Nobody wants to see that happen with Resident Evil 2. I can't say nobody. There are a few people I've noticed, even in my own comment section, saying that they want to see that. For the life of me, I absolutely cannot fathom why anybody would want that. If it was an option, then okay, I guess, but I would rather not see it at all, because that's just one more thing that they have to develop that's taking away from something else that they could be adding into the game. Personally, I don't see how Resident Evil 2 would work out as an over-the-shoulder shooter unless they changed a lot of aspects of the game. It just would not work out. It would be too easy. It would remind me of what happened with Metal Gear Solid when they brought it over to the GameCube when they did the Twin Snakes. It just didn't really work out because here you had the mechanics of Metal Gear Solid 2 put into Metal Gear Solid 1. It didn't work out. It made the game way too easy. It was fun and the graphics looked really nice, but it was just way too easy, and most fans of Metal Gear Solid will agree that it really wasn't a very good remake in that regard. Another thing that gives me a little bit of hope that this is going to maintain that original formula is that these guys just worked on the HD remaster not that long ago. They had to remaster the visuals, the audio, and not only that, but they mentioned that they had to go through and look at all the coding for the levels and stuff. So they had to go through and see all of the stuff that all of their predecessors laid out in front of them. So they have a very good idea of how a traditional Resident Evil works. And it's just obvious to me why Capcom picked this guy for the job. They want a traditional Resident Evil experience. Otherwise, they would just pick somebody else. It wouldn't make any sense to pick the guy who worked on the remastering during the GameCube era, the guy who was there who worked on the HD remastering that was just previously released last year. It makes a lot of sense that this is going to come out the way that traditional fans want it to be. And if it doesn't, there's going to be a massive, massive uproar. However, then again, this guy also worked on Resident Evil 6. He was one of two producers on Resident Evil 6. So you have to be concerned. There's always going to be that concern until we know what's going on for certain. However, he did mention that he has heard people's concerns from Resident Evil 6. He's aware that people don't want that, so I find it unlikely that they're going to go with that route. But you never know. It's Capcom. Capcom is really strange. Sometimes they really hit the spot and they make their fans happy. Other times they just piss people off to the point where I've seen people go as far as to say they hope they become bankrupt so that their properties are sold off to somebody who actually knows what the fuck they're doing with them. You never know what you're going to get with Capcom. It's like a box of chocolates. You can get a chocolate covered turd, or you can just get a gold nugget of epicness. With Capcom doing all of these remasters, hopefully they're going to do something with Onimusha. I'm still waiting for that. I'm still waiting on confirmation for Resident Evil Outbreak. We haven't gotten confirmation on that. We've actually heard from creators and studios that no, they're not working on that, which is something that I would expect them to say, but we don't have confirmation on that either. It would be nice to hear what the hell is going on. It is the 20th anniversary of the series, so hopefully soon we will hear something from Capcom in regards to that. Hopefully they'll say something about Onimusha, because I know there's a lot of people waiting for that. I've been waiting for that for a long time. It's one of those games where they were just like, I guess we're done with that. Why? I know Devil May Cry was always more of a popular title. I didn't play the last Devil May Cry, to be honest with you. I didn't like what they did to Dante, and I know that's really shallow, but I didn't like the emo look. He went from this just badass looking goth dude to an emo looking little bitch, and I played a demo for it. It was okay. Devil May Cry was never my favorite. Onimusha was always above Devil May Cry, in my opinion. I'd rather play a feudal Japanese badass samurai than like a half demon ogre guy with guns. I'm not saying that Dante wasn't awesome, but yeah, I really want to see Onimusha make a comeback, so hopefully we'll hear something about that. Now, to get back on topic of the remake of Resident Evil 2, personally, I want to see them add some extra stuff to it, just like they did with the remake. I like the fact that they added the whole Lisa Trevor story. I liked the extra areas. I know there are fans that did not like that. There are some very, very hardcore, traditional, old school fans who absolutely hated the fact that they added extra stuff into Remake. The fact that they added the self-defense items, people didn't like that. It's really surprising to me how much people don't want things changed. If things are changed, I don't mind it if it doesn't mess with the story too much. If it improves upon the story, if it gives me more gameplay, if it adds a cool mechanic like the Crimson Head zombies and having to burn zombies, I love that. Some people absolutely hated that. I want to hear from you guys. Did you like those aspects? Do you want to see any kind of changes like that in Resident Evil 2, or you just want to see it remain completely the same? Let me know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a thumbs up. If you're new here, I ask that you please subscribe. I thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.